Hey there, everybody. Greetings and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So I'm pretty much over whatever it was that was congesting me, which is good. Now I'm hopefully will get through this video without hacking my brains out, but don't count on it. Anyways, today we're doing our Wednesday night favorites, and I've chosen to do my 10 favorite songs done by Ronnie James Dio, and this goes across all the different bands and stuff that he's been in. One of my favorite singers. I've loved him with just about every band that he's been with, and even on his own, I love them. So I've chosen 10 songs that kind of represent pretty much all of that era, except for maybe Elf, which I don't have a great deal. I haven't had a great deal of listening to, and I'm not really as appreciative of it yet as I might be in the future. But at this point in time, it's pretty much the bands that we've come to expect. So normally what I do in a top 10 list, which is pretty much normally what I do in a 25 and a 5 and just about any list really, is I go from the album that I like the least up to the album I like the most. In this case, of course, it's a top 10, so there isn't any songs on here that I don't like. I like pretty much all of them. Well, I love all of these songs. The song in number 10 spot I absolutely love, so by the time you get to the top, it's killer. Also, we will give you some honorable mentions too as I get finished. What I'll do is I'll do the top 10 list from reverse order from worst to first, from least to best, whatever you want to call it, and then I'll reiterate them once, and then I'll give you the songs that were considered but didn't make the list for whatever reason. I might even give you an explanation of when it occurs to me. So anyways, here we go. The first song up comes from this album, Rainbow Rising. This was from 1976, when he was with Reggie Blackmore's Rainbow, and the song is Tarot Woman. Just such a killer track. To be honest, Carrie's keyboards on this album, on this particular song too, are so memorable that whenever I see this album, that's the first thing that pops into my mind. But Ronnie's voice is fantastic on this particular track, as it is on the entire album and most albums that he's on. But this is one of my favorite songs by him. It was probably the song I liked the most initially when I heard this album and this group. So, this was actually my second Rainbow album. My first one was the debut album. So anyways, Rainbow Rising's Tarot Woman coming in at number 10. Okay, next up is from The Mob Rules, from this album. It's a fantastic cover on here. This was the second album in which Ronnie James Dio sang with Black Sabbath. The song that I put on here is a song that I liked initially. It was my favorite song on the album. It still has maintained some fairly high degree of non-burnout, which is Slipping Away. Such a heavy, crunching song. His voice is so good on this track. The funniest thing is he's one of the few vocalists I really think could handle such a heavy band as Black Sabbath, and he's just fantastic on this particular tune. So, Slipping Away in number 9. Number 8 from his solo career. And I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. I've got both of his solo albums that I own are here. And of course, it's the title track. There was not really any much doubt that this song was going to be on this list. Holy Diver. Heavy. Vivian Campbell making his debut with the band. Strong album opener. I saw them on this tour. They were so good. And this song, I'm pretty sure this was the encore song that he did at the end of the concert, and he did it so fantastic. I remember him doing it. I just can't remember if it was the encore or not. I think it was, though. So Ronnie James Dio's Holy Diver from his debut album of the same name. Number 7 comes off arguably one of my 5 favorite albums of all time. Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. This is a killer album. Absolutely brought me to metal world, the metal. Up until this point, I was kind of hemming and hawing about metal here and there, but after this album, I was all aboard. The song is not as metalish. It's one of the less metal songs on the album, The Children of the Sea, but his voice is so smooth, so eerie, and yet so good. I love this track. I've always loved this track. I love this picture on the back too, by the way. Fantastic. So Heaven and Hell's Children of the Sea, coming here at number 7. So number 6, from the same album actually, a song that probably was my favorite song by Black Sabbath for a number of years until I really got into them quite heavily, and then it kind of faded because it was a song that kind of is catchy, has a real catchy sound to it at the beginning, but over time it's kind of faded a bit, and that's Neon Nights. But it's such a pounding song that it's never going to completely fade away. So Neon Nights coming here at number 6 off of Heaven and Hell. Number 5, another really heavy song, very melodic, very strong. His vocals are great. The song itself is so catchy and has grown with me over time. I've come to find this to be one of my strongest Sabbath songs, and that's Sign of the Southern Cross. So heavy and so melodic and just really catchy as hell, and his voice is absolutely fantastic. So from the Mob Rules, The Sign of the Southern Cross in at number 5. Number 4, excuse me, we're slipping back to Rainbow here. Maybe one of Ronnie's best vocal songs of all time. So emotional, so gripping, so storytelling, and absolutely incredible. And we're talking about Stargazer here. Could have went higher, I guess. It was lower initially when I was doing this, and then I listened to it and put it back up here a little bit further. This is an album produced by Martin Birch, Rainbow Rising Again. All the lyrics by Dio on this album, but the vocals are incredible. The guitar solo on this is absolutely smoking. The drumming, fantastic. This is and the keyboards is really good too. And even the bass is strong. So this is one of the best heavy metal kind of instrumentals of its time period for sure. Rainbow Rising's Stargazer. Number 3, we're going back to the Mob Rules here. This album, another great track. I've already done 2 off of it. This album really didn't solidify itself with me until recent years, but the songs that have solidified me were ones that I didn't listen to as much, except for this particular track, which absolutely I love, Country Girl, showing off Ronnie's absolute killer vocal style that he has here. Yeah, so Mob Rules, Black Sabbath's Mob Rules album, and the song is Country Girl here, coming in at number 3. Now the last 2 are both from the same album. It was tough to choose between the 2 of them because I love them both for different reasons, but they've never burned out, and I've been listening to them since I was 16, and I'm still listening to both of them some 40 some years later. Number 2 is Wishing Well. I love this song. It's real catchy. Ronnie's vocals are fantastic, and this song just plumps along really well. And the number 1 song, with its eerie guitar part and heavy part and quiet part all mixed together, Die Young. Yeah. This is one of the greatest metal tracks I think of all time. It's definitely one of my favorite. It wasn't my favorite on this album initially though. Initially it was about 5th or 6th down there. Other songs were up there but over time a lot of these songs have, in the case of the title track on this album, it's just kind of overplayed too much and just drained away. Neon Nights, a little bit the same, but not as bad. Lady Evil was a song I liked a little bit at the beginning and then kind of fade it completely out of there. And then you have, of course, Children of the Sea, which has long been one of my favorite tracks on this album. But for today, it's going to be Die Young from Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell album. So there you have it. Those are my 10 favorite Ronnie James Dio songs. So I'm just going to reiterate them now, just so people can hear it in case they missed something. Okay, so number 1 was Die Young from Heaven and Hell from Black Sabbath. Number 2 was Wishing Well from the same album from Black Sabbath. Number 3 was Country Girl from The Mob Rules from Black Sabbath. Number 4 was Stargazer from a Rainbow Rising album. Number 5 is The Sign of the Southern Cross from the Mob Rules album from Black Sabbath again. Number 6 is from the Heaven and Hell album again. Neon Nights, as is number 7, Children of the Sea, both of them from the same album from Black Sabbath. Number 8 is from Ronnie James Dio's debut solo album called Holy Diver, the title track, Holy Diver. Number 9, Slippin' Away from the Mob Rules, also from Black Sabbath. And the last track on the top 10 list is Tarot Woman from Rainbow's Rising album. Also, I think it's like, still, that song is a long time ago now, man. Like, that's over pretty close to 45 years ago, but such a great track. Had to be on this list somewhere, and I think it made number 10. Probably could have been a little bit higher, but it's fine. I'm happy with the way the list went. Some of the other tracks that didn't quite make it, get a couple from this album that I like quite a bit too. The Last in Line, and where is it? I can't find it. Maybe if I put my glasses on. Anyways, Last in Line off of this album for sure. Off of this album's a little bit newer to me than the other two Black Sabbath albums, but it's pretty strong. Given time, I think it will make an impact on a list like this. And from this album, Time Machine and I, which are both really good tracks. Also from Rainbow Rising, Run with the Wolf, which could have gotten on here, but you know, you can only put 10 songs on, and so it just didn't quite make it though. Off of the Mob Rules, we also have Voodoo, which I think is initially was probably, that and Slippin' Away were probably my two favorite tracks off the album. It's kind of burned out over the years, so I don't play it nearly as much, but I still like it quite a bit. Then you have off of this Rainbow album, Rainbow's debut album, Man on the Silver Mountain, of course, had to be on here. And, you know, even Catch the Rainbow, which is a very soft song, but a song I love to sing. It's fantastic. I think it probably, years past, it probably would have made this list, but it's gotten tough. Ronnie James has a lot of really good stuff. And I think there's one last track I want to mention, and where is it? Here, off of this album as well, Light in the Black, which is the other half of the Stargazer side of the album. Really good, easily a number one song on most albums, but on this album it's coming in number 3 song, but still really good. Number 4 song, actually, Run with the Wolf, is in there as well. And that's it for the collection of Ronnie James Dio, my favorite 10 songs from Ronnie James Dio. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe. We're going to stick with the theme for the next little while of 10 top 10 things. I'm going to probably do 3 or 4 in a row, actually, because I've been doing a lot of 25s and 5s, and I want to give myself a bit of a break from those and do some 10s. And Ben has given me a couple of 10s that I want to do as well. I have one more of this type of 10, which will be my top 10 favorite songs from Ian Gillan, who I also like quite a bit. So we'll be doing that. I don't know if we'll do that one next week, or we may do the 2 that Ben gave me and then get back to that one. I haven't decided yet. And I might throw maybe a 5 or a 25 in there somewhere just to break it up a bit. But generally speaking, I'm going to try to do these 10s for the next little bit. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Any comments, or you want to put your own top 10 in the top 10 list down there, that'd be great. That way we all can see. There might be a song or two that I absolutely forgot all about, and that happens on occasion too. So, sometimes I'll see people write their top 10. Holy Christ, I forgot that song. It just happens. You've got so much music going on, you just can't remember everything. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next Wednesday night for another favorites. So take care and goodbye.